Okay, so I haven't knit since I was like 10 years old, and I picked up some knitting supplies at the craft store that's down the street. And honestly, I was gonna film like this video from start to finish. I was so excited to do it, and then my fear of failure took over and I completely stopped filming the entire process. So now I'm like halfway into the sweater and I didn't film any of it. So let me catch you up on where I'm at. So far I have this half of a sweater, knit to purl to type for the bottom. Then I just knit all the way around up until the arms. At the arms I decreased a little bit, and then now I have separated the shoulders. And I just thought that this would be like a good time to talk about my fear of failure, and you know, I was scared to even film this video or to start this project and finish it because I didn't want it to be like not perfect. So let's dive into that.
Hi, I didn't really introduce myself. My name is Gioya, and I have always been a procrastinator perfectionist.
Hi, Gioya.
I don't want to do a project unless I think the finished product is going to be worth something, but then that means that when I start approaching a deadline with zero work done, I force myself to work under pressure, and that stresses me out, and I know that the work that I end up putting out should have been like a first draft rather than like the final submission. I think this fear of putting out something that's bad has really stopped me from doing a lot of things, and I'm really trying to get over that. I've wanted to get back into knitting for a long time, and so I'm really happy that I'm just trying to go for it.
Excuse the mess in the background, but here is the sweater after doing Kitchener's stitch on the shoulders. So the shoulders are all sewn up, and here's the back. So it's extremely cropped. This is like literally hitting right below my bust. But I kind of like it. It's kind of giving me like Miu Miu fall 2022 vibes, you know? Next up is the arms, and I think what I need to do is pick up stitches around here and then just knit all the way down the arm.
Something I'm kind of relearning is the value of consistency. I think that there are parts of me that inherently understand this. For example, I wouldn't be able to speak French if I didn't continue working at it, even after I hit the minimum requirement levels in high school or in college. I had to continue to work on it for literally years, and I never viewed that time as lost or wasted. And I never even really thought about the future of the skill. I was just lost in it in the learning process, and so therefore I was consistent with it. I find that I scare myself with the notion of passing time or of the opportunity costs of using time on myself. Like, I'll want to edit a video, but then I'm like, maybe that time would be better used by reorganizing my closet or cleaning the dishes or folding laundry or watching that show that everyone's watching right now. And I convince myself that it's not worth it to edit the video right now because that's less important than the other tasks at hand. Anyway, what I really like about this project is that so much of it is just mindless knitting. There are some parts of it, obviously, where I need to use my brain power and focus and figure out where I need to do decreases and where I need to cast off, but for the most part, it's this relaxing, repetitive movement, and you still make a lot of progress, even though you're not having to use all of your brain power. Maybe eventually I'll do more complicated projects, but I was really able to push through a bunch of TV shows and movies. Okay, I'm doing this with my front camera. Oh, sorry. But I thought I would just do this try on. Okay. So we're like halfway down the arm. This is literally a TV show, finishing a TV show series. And I think at least 3 movies and several YouTube videos later. This is how far I know. That's hours of work. And honestly, it looks really cute now. So, however, let me just show you the issue. So, cool. on a train to Switzerland, and I have to say, taking 2 weeks off of work consecutively is pretty sick. I feel like the American perspective is like, how can they afford to take off for so long, or they're probably losing a lot of money by being closed for so long in the summer. And the French perspective is more like, this time off is necessary for life, and 15 days of vacation a year is not nearly enough, and that's inhumane. France would strike if there was a decrease in holiday days. And I have to say, I think the French are onto something. I hadn't taken a vacation with friends in a while, and while obviously the landscapes are beautiful, and that's what I took video of, some of my favorite parts were sitting around the dinner table, talking about anything and everything, and just getting to know each other better.
Okay, so to plant new flowers, they say we have to empty out their pots too. So we have to pull them out and then dust off. Yeah.
He hates being alone in a room with me. Watch this. Hi, Dad.
I have basically the whole sleeve except for not this cuff part, because when I tried to do the knit two together and reduce it down, there were like huge holes and gaping between the row that has all of the stitches and the row where I decreased, and I didn't like the way that it looked. And I looked at the video that I'm using as a reference, and I need to size down my needles. I'm using a 4mm needle. 4mm needle right now, and I need to size down, I think, to a 3.5. So instead of like going out and buying that right now, I think I'm just gonna start on the next sleeve and get them so that they're both the same length, and then I'll do the cuffs all together once I finish that, because I know that this is the part that's gonna take me the longest. Hey guys, so I have 2 sleeves now, which is very exciting. I was trying to decide how I want to finish the sleeves. I started doing a 2x2 ribbing on this side. Whoops. I don't know if you could see that. I think it looks pretty good. This one I was trying to do it like just completely open, but honestly I kind of like how the sleeve kind of goes inward at the wrist, so which means that I think I'm gonna have to undo some stitches on the side, because I think this is actually potentially too long. Here is the update. I have done the rib on both sides. I don't know if you can see. And so I think now I'm just gonna cast that off, and then I'm gonna start on the collar, depending on how long this cast off takes me. And then we will be so close to being done. So I am
knitting the collar right now. This is what the rib is looking like. I think it looks pretty good. I didn't do this on any of the other like ribbed ends. I just did like a single rib, but I kind of want to try to do a folded, which means I have to double the length and then fold it over and then knit it to the inside of the sweater so that it looks finished. First things first, I think before I go any farther on the collar, I need to see if this is actually going to fit my head or not. So I'm going to knit one row using a longer cable, and then once that's done I can try it on. Anyways, I am going to watch Sex and the City, and I've never watched it before, so I'm excited. I'm looking for some fashion inspiration. Here's how the collar is looking. This is if I didn't fold it over, which I don't think looks bad. Okay, this is like somewhat what I think it would look like. It's not folding all the way over. But I just can't tell if that's like long enough. I think it is. Maybe I should just try and finish it off and see what it looks like. Okay, so I thought that I had finished off my sweater because here is the collar. I was just really excited to be done. I was like, oh my gosh, all I have to do is like trim these down, weave them in, and I'm gonna have a sweater. However, you can see I have a problem here, which is that it's actually very tight around the neck trying to get it on, which wasn't the case before I tried to do the double rolled hem. And I don't know if you can see, but the collar is just kind of like sticking out. And honestly, I think I liked it better when it wasn't rolled over. So I think I'm gonna have to undo the collar. I'm gonna try to just like unravel it so that I don't have to cut it off. So I'm not quite done, but I'm pretty close. And that's just so frustrating. But anyways, you live and you learn, right? Overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love that it's super cropped. I love that the sleeves are huge. It's not perfect by any means. As you can see, the back is definitely up much higher than the front is, just because I didn't account for that at all. And I think the shoulders are not exactly sitting in the equal same place, but overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I actually styled it with a lip gloss before. Hold on. Okay, that looks better. I think that this is how I styled it the day that I took it out to take pictures. Anyways, I thought that I could give you guys some advice because I definitely made some mistakes along the way, and so let me get into those. First of all, I started off and I didn't do a knitting gauge, and I didn't take any of my measurements or anything like that, and I lost a bunch of time in the beginning casting on stitches, trying to see if it fit around my waist, and then taking them off, and then recasting on, knitting a couple lines, and then having to undo it. And I did that over and over and over again because I didn't start off with a gauge, and I definitely recommend doing that. I'm gonna be doing that for my next project. In a similar vibe, I didn't follow one specific video or one specific pattern. I had watched a couple different videos and I decided I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna do a sweater from the bottom up, and I watched a bunch of different videos on how to do that. And I kind of just started
off the fly, or I just kind of started randomly. And honestly, I wish that I had just chosen the video from the start, because I ended up using one video as a reference. That video isn't even online anymore, and I had to like finish the collar and the sleeves without a reference. So I would also recommend, if it's from a video reference, writing down the pattern or writing down the steps before you get to them, so that you can reference back to them in the case that the video gets taken down. So my last piece of advice is that even if you make a bunch of mistakes, keep going. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that discourage you. Just continue going until you get to a finished product, and you'll be so happy that you finished the project. And honestly, it'll give you so much more confidence. At least that's how I felt. And I think that you just feel like, wow, I can actually do this. Like, the more that you do new things, the more confidence that you build, and that confidence is real. You know what I mean? Like, you really did something, so you really earned that confidence. And like we were talking about before, this video was really about my fear of failure and being afraid that the finished product is not going to be perfect. And you know what? This sweater is not perfect, but I still love it, and I'm still going to wear it, and it's going to be a fun part of my wardrobe for, you know, however long it lasts. So I already bought the yarn for my next project. I'll definitely be keeping you guys updated with that. Thanks again for coming along with me on this journey. This has really been like a fun year for me in terms of building my confidence and learning more about myself and making new stuff and learning new things. And yeah, we're self-actualizing this year. So hope you guys have had a good start to the new year. I hope you guys are learning new things. I hope you guys are believing in yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.